Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And with no further ado, let's get into my divisional round picks. Along with, maybe redoing my Super Bowl prediction. Now that we have the wild card weekend officially over with. So starting off with tomorrow's games with the Bills at the Broncos. Josh Allen obviously, you know, really put the team on his back against Jacksonville. Taking on a Denver team that has an amazing defense, but an inconsistent offense. And I do think Buffalo does have a shot to win this game because, yes, they lost both Gabe Davis and Tyrell Shavers to torn ACLs, and their defense is not that great. I do think the way they beat Jacksonville, it can be possible. I just think at Mile High, it's one of the bigger home field advantages for any team because of the altitude. And I just think Denver's defense is going to make Josh Allen like they're going to make Josh Allen's life a living hell. And I think Denver's offense can do just enough to get the win and stop Josh Allen's run to the Super Bowl. Moving on, moving on to the Niners at the Seahawks, the second Saturday game, the third time these two have matched up. San Fran won the first matchup back in week one. Seattle won the second matchup a couple weeks ago in week 18. Both times the road team won, but San Fran is just too banged up to get the win. Like George Kittle now is out. Fred Warner, I know he said that he might be able to play, but I don't think he does. And Seattle's defense, like they showed in week 18, will make Brock Purdy and the Niners offense living hell. And Seattle's offense will be able to play well enough to get the win and move on to the NFC Championship game. Move on to the Sunday games. Texans at the Patriots. Both teams' quarterbacks have major concerns because both of them had multiple turnovers. Yeah, everybody likes to talk about CJ Stroud, but Drake May had a couple of turnovers in that Chargers game. If it wasn't for LA's offense just not being that great, mainly because of Greg Roman and the bad offensive line, New England would have lost that game. But hanging on a Texans team that Houston's defense is better than the Chargers, which is why I think New England's offense will once again not play that great. But I think Houston's offense is better than the Chargers. And I think, CJ Stroud, like against the Steelers, 3 turnovers, that's not how he usually plays. He is usually a guy who doesn't turn the ball over a lot. And even though he did have 3 turnovers, he still was playing amazing. Like whenever he needed to make a big play, he did. Like at one point, I know they were like 7 for 8 on third down, and Stroud kept on just making those great passes. Woody Marks had his first 100 game of the season, and I think with Houston's offense, like outside of those turnovers, they still played really well, and I think they pull off the upset. They take down the Patriots, and they set up an AFC Championship game, which would be their first all-time AFC Championship game. Moving on to the Sunday night and final divisional game, Rams, Bears, two teams that, you know, offenses are really great. Now, Stafford is dealing with that finger injury, which really did affect him, but he still played well for the most part down the stretch. But both teams' defenses have not been great. Like, Chicago's defense relies on turnovers. Like, we saw against the Packers, it's like early on, Jordan Love was carving them up, and then the Bears defense finally was making stops. And then the Bears offense finally started to go late into that game. I don't know if they're going to have the same magic And I just trust Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. This Rams team is playoff proven, unlike this Bears team is. And I think the Rams get the win, setting up an NFC West clash in the NFC Championship game for my um, NFC and AFC Championship games. I'm gonna go with Seattle to still make it out. I just think, even though LA is great, that defense is a weakness, and against a Seattle defense, which I think will come to play. They'll make Stafford, Nakua, Devontae Adams, and that offense's life miserable. And I just think LA's defense, will finally start to show breaks. Because against the Panthers, it was a back and forth game where Carolina almost won that game. LA was slightly able to win that. I think whether it's against Chicago this week or if they make it to the NFC Championship game, the defense is going to let them down. I think the Seahawks represent the NFC. And then Texans, Broncos, um, Denver, they have been the story all year. The comeback wins. It's just felt like they somehow are just able to get it done. A Houston team looking to make their first Super Bowl and cross their names off the list of the four teams that have never made a Super Bowl. The Jags, Texans, Lions, and Browns. And I think Houston does it. I think they pull off the upset in Mile High. I know that is a big time home field advantage and it will be tough, but I think Houston's defense, I think it'll be a battle of the offenses to see which one plays better. And I just trust CJ Stroud. I trust this Houston offense to be better in those clutch moments. Because we've seen after that slow start, Houston's offense has played much better, especially, with Christian Kirk now being back. I know Nico Collins, the injury could hurt him. I mean, hurt this team. Um, but Woody Marks is playing really well. The offensive line is really starting to play much better, and I think Houston can make a run. You know, I think even if they play the Bills, who they already beat this year, I think if they beat New England, they can go all the way. But I think it ends. I think Seattle still wins the Super Bowl. I just don't think there's an AFC team. Maybe Denver, but it's just a lot of these AFC teams just are not the greatest on both sides of the ball to really have me, given faith for them to be who I think is the best team right now in the Seattle Seahawks. And I think Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And this would be one of the craziest turnarounds because after they moved on from Pete Carroll, a lot of people thought it was the wrong decision. Mike McDonald has come in, made the Seahawks into one of the best teams in the league. This offense is one of the best. The defense is one of the best. And I think Seattle, once again, makes it to the Super Bowl and wins it. And yeah. So yeah, those are my redone predictions. I predicted the divisional round and then I redid the championship at Super Bowl. Um, so yeah, those are my redone predictions. Along with my divisional round predictions. Um, Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, along with commenting, what you want to see. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, hope you all have a great day and bye.